This is about to get real personal. If you've prayed with me and shared with me, you know what my one consistent prayer has been, right? For the past 6 years, Paulina and I have been trying to get pregnant. 1 year we did, but it ended in a miscarriage. Definitely one of the toughest things we've ever gone through, and yet I preach about the power of God and the trust in God and faithfulness to God, and how hard is it to preach when it seems like the thing I want God most to do in my own life, He's not doing. How do I show up here and keep preaching when the very faith I preach about isn't working in my own family? How do I keep walking? This army marched around for 6 days without a single sign of progress, and that brings us to the number 6. In the Bible, the number 6 is symbolic of man. Man's effort, man without God. That's why the number of the enemy is 666. The number 7, though, that's the number of completion. That's God's number. On the 7th day, God rested. So after 6 laps spread out over 6 days, following the 7th lap on the 7th day, after Israel did all that they could, God says, okay, now you're where I want you. Now you're at a place where you've done your walking, you've blown your trumpets, you've done all that, and not a single brick has fallen from those walls, not a single enemy has been taken down. Now that you've done all that you could do in 6, it's time to show you what I can do on the 7th. Because if I destroyed those walls the first lap you took, you'd think it was you who brought that wall down. I took you around for 6 laps, and then even on the 7th day, 6 more laps, so you know who brought you here. I don't know how many of you guys are wondering today, God, how long am I going to have to go without having a single friend? God, how long am I going to have to go being single? I can't keep going to all these weddings and watching people be all happy while trying to stay pure. God, how long must I keep praying for my family? My dad's still a drunk. My mom is still sick. My parents still don't have a job. God, how long am I going to be jobless? I keep applying and getting rejected and rejected. Meanwhile, my friends lie and they cheat and they steal their way to the top. Where's my reward for faithfulness and obedience? Where's my reward for purity? God, tell me. How much longer am I going to have to pray for a baby? Meanwhile, my friends and family seem to have no issues. How long can I be happy for them while not being able to have the same joy for us? Because I don't mind the walking if you'll just tell me how much longer it's going to be. I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because it's tough to walk in faith. And I'm preaching this to you, but I'm preaching it to myself as well, just because you don't see God working doesn't mean He's not moving. That's why you can't trust your eyes. You need to trust in His promise. And so if you feel like you're walking and not knowing if there's an end in sight, let me encourage you, just keep walking. Take another lap. Who knows? You may be on your 5th and on the 6th day, right? All you got is another lap to go, another day, because honestly, God is glorified just as much on lap 7 as He is when the faithful are on laps 1 through 6, meaning it's not just when the walls fall down that's when His name gets glory. It's also when He builds you up, when you're faithful along the way. I don't know what lap Paulina and I are on. What I do know is we're going to keep walking. The Bible says that the walls came down on the 7th day after the 7th lap. But what were they doing on the 7th day, on the 7th lap? The exact same thing they were doing every single day before. It just so happened that in that instant, God had been encouraging them to keep marching, to keep serving, to keep showing up, to keep praying, to keep reading, to keep giving, to keep loving, to keep forgiving. Because today might be the day the walls fall down, where God accomplishes what He's been meaning to accomplish through you, where God shows up. And he may not do what you're expecting or even what you're wanting, but he'll always do what's best for you, whether you realize it or not. So I encourage you and I challenge you, walk every day like this is the lap, because one day you'll be right. And what's more, you may be between 6 and 7. So please, please, please keep walking.
Well, in the year 2022, we have a special ministry opportunity that we wanted to share with you guys is we are thinking of beginning a babysitting ministry.
Oh my God.
Because
We're having a baby, guys!
Oh no. Oh my God. Harder, harder.
It's a big guy! Girl, it's a girl! Honey, that's our baby.